What's up BTS, it's your host Michaela and I'm here to break down the top 10 celebrities who lost all their fans overnight. At number 10 we have the formerly super hot girl group of the 90s TLC and their current members Tion T-Boz Watkins and Rosanda Chili Thomas going through issues of debt and underpayment. You can imagine how odd it struck me that a famous group who once sold over 10 million albums has the word broke associated with them. Well, the remaining girls of TLC can relate because since their massive success behind their 1994 Crazy Sexy Cool album and soon the loss of their third late member Lisa Left Eye Lopez, they found themselves a bit low on the cash scale. In the 2007 self-documentary from Lisa, the late rapper discussed each member's earnings from the album, which amount to approximately $300,000 due to quote taxes, fees paid to the recording studio, and record company cuts from profits. And while the group moved on to sell over 65 million CDs worldwide, it didn't necessarily translate into their personal riches, especially for Tion. Despite holding 1/3 of the best-selling American girl group of all time title, Tion filed for bankruptcy for the second time in 2011 and accumulated over $1 million in debt. She now has a net worth of $1.5 million to her name approximately. As for Rosanda, she seems to have grown into a better financial position than her once bandmate as she holds onto a net worth of $8 million roughly. At number 9 we have actress Natasha Lyonne. Small and big screen fans will most likely know of Natasha through her highly praised role on 1999's American Pie, as well as her work in Netflix's drom-com Orange is the New Black from 2013 onward. But it's between these two projects that Natasha's life had seen a quick spiral. As for today, Natasha was struggling with an intense hard substance addiction, which soon had her in prison, and then later hospitalized for following quote hepatitis, a heart infection, a collapsed lung, and coverage of track marks. The beloved actress straightened herself out in time, but she told Entertainment Weekly in 2012 that her journey was understandably troubled. Parts of her discussion included spiraling into addiction is really scary. Some things have a very A to B scientific effect. It's weird to talk about. I was definitely as good as dead. A lot of people don't come back. That makes me feel weary. I wouldn't want to feel prideful about it. People really rallied around me and pulled me up by my bootstraps. There was a warrant for my arrest, which helped too. At number 8 we have Ben Affleck, whose career was branded as pretty much done for by the beginning of 2004. His high-profile engagement to Jennifer Lopez got called quits, and his on-screen works were said to have been tanking overall. So many agreed that his attempt to revive his career off-camera made sense. To be honest, fans wanted nothing to do with the star at one point, and it almost seemed like he was going to be officially known as a Hollywood has-been. However, there isn't one person so far who has disagreed that this attempt hasn't indeed helped him since. In 2007, he tried to regain traction for the first time with Gone Baby Gone, which was quickly branded as a critical smash and graced Ben with raving reviews he hadn't experienced since his Oscar win for Good Will Hunting in 1988. Once known to be a joke in Hollywood, Ben soon became a well-respected and highly sought-after director. He followed up with even hotter hits like Box Office Attractor The Twin in 2010, which went for nearly $100 million, and Argo dubbed the Best Picture Oscar back in 2013. Nowadays, who even remembers the 2013 flop that was Geely? I sure don't. At number 7 we have actor Matthew McConaughey. His 2013 was deemed as one of his best years due to how well his acclaimed performances in multiple on-screen projects were. His work in Magic Mike in 2012 landed Matthew securing his 2013 position in the acting world, surely hoping to have everyone forget his features in rom-coms Failure to Launch back in 2006 and Fool's Gold in 2008. These two single works had Matthew being disregarded by fans and Hollywood at one point, with no sure sight of revival. However, in light of the end of his 2012 and the beginning of his 2013, Matthew was established as a edgier actor from indie drama Mud, where he received raved reviews. Following this, Matthew took part in Dallas's Buyers Club in late 2013 and shed over 40 pounds to act as a dying AIDS patient by the name of Ron Woodruff. Matthew's DBC performance won him a multitude of high-profile awards in Hollywood, which included an Oscar. He was reborn as an actor and he impressed so many in the industry that his re-come-up was branded by most as the period of the McConaissance. His Dallas Buyers Club role fell in line with his next performance in HBO's True Detective 2014 miniseries. He also landed a role in Christopher Nolan's Interstellar in the same year. His smaller acting works haven't gained as much traction, but it is quite impressive how Matthew picked himself up from the ground of becoming a washed-up Hollywood actor to one that will unsurprisingly go on to possibly land another Oscar under his belt. Talk about rising from the ashes. At number 6 we have comedian and actor Kevin Hart, who has had an extensive career of making millions laugh for many years. But in 2017, his past actions left many just as furious. News broke when that Kevin was tangled in an allegation which exploited him supposedly engaging in sexually suggestive conduct with a woman who was not his pregnant wife at the time. Kevin had posted a cryptic video to Instagram with apologies to Aniko Parrish as well as his children for, quote, making a bad error in judgment and placing himself in a bad environment where only bad things can happen. Unfortunately for Kevin, but deservingly, his attempts at getting ahead of the scandal did not stop it from scorning his career and losing his fans in the blink of an eye. His cheating accusations, which he later confirmed to be true on Netflix's docuseries surrounding the star called Kevin Hart Don't F This Up, later revealed how quick Kevin was to dodge any headlines involving both the unnamed woman in the video and his first wife. Aniko has since reported to Inside Edition that Kevin's lies and infidelity spoiled their relationship, but they are still currently together. At number 5, we have the king of pop, Michael Jackson. His rise and fall has been heavily documented and inspected both while he was still with us and long after he departed. However, the focus of his fall in question always reels back to his legal troubles more than his financial ones, despite them both making major headlines for just about any news outlet you can think of. Michael's transition of simply being one of the most iconic artists of all time, racking up a startling 100 million per year, eventually wound up with his passing away with secrets he simply could not bury with him. Exactly how did he get here though? Well, apparently Michael made it a habit of eating away at his fortune from all the spending he did on real estate, including millions upon millions of dollars being invested into the Neverland Ranch. He also funded $65 million worth of art projects during his time, not to mention his ongoing legal fees amidst the scandals of his child essay allegation charges back in 2005. According to Celebrity Net Worth, the total of all these finances amounted to about $20 million. But despite his financial woes while he was still alive, his brand remains superior even today. Michael Jackson's executors have rebuilt his legacy and reigned his posthumous net worth to $500 million, branding his estate as one of the richest to exist. At number 4, we have America's favorite victim, Miss Taylor Swift. Now, the reason I put it like this is because from the minute Kanye West had interrupted her acceptance speech during the 2009 MTV VMAs, Taylor was branded as someone who never did anything wrong. A sweet, young, innocent country girl who had been publicly humiliated by a tacky rapper who cared more about a bottle than his reputation at the time. Deliberately or not, Taylor definitely carried this persona with her throughout the multiple scandals she would land herself in for years to follow, many of which involved her getting the last laugh at Kanye for making him look silly and getting the final word in. And this didn't just happen musically either, she also took on this narrative in her relationships as well. Taylor's perfectly positioned house of cards came tumbling down massively amidst her catty breakup with DJ Calvin Harris, and again with her Tom Hiddleston fling. Following this, there was also the wild beef between Taylor and reality star and former Miss West Kim Kardashian. Despite Taylor publicly informing fans that she never approved her name being used in Kanye's controversial song, Kim had released video footage over Snapchat later of Taylor seemingly giving the green light to be featured in the track deemed by the press as misogynistic. So whether or not Taylor is the quote snake that Kim has implied her to be still remains up for debate. However, after the year that was 2016 for Miss I Knew You Were Trouble When You Walked In, literally no one keeps up with that innocent girl with the guitar act anymore, not even Taylor herself. Though I'm sure that might even have something small to do with Taylor and her then crew being branded as the 21st century's Mean Girls. Big yikes. At number 3, we have America's most infamous domestic diva, Martha Stewart. Martha's career quite literally fell to pieces in 2004 when she was sentenced to 5 months in prison, followed by an additional 5 months of house arrest in light of her alleged involvement in an insider trading scandal. As a savvy businesswoman that she is though, Martha managed to pick up the mess of her career and start a new chapter of success. She aimed for cultural relevance through her odd but persuasive friendship with successful rapper of his time Snoop Dogg. In accordance with People, the two's unconventional relationship dates back to when Martha was a daytime talk show host for her self-titled series, where Snoop had made a couple of appearances to cook up brownies and mashed potatoes. Still, this dynamic duo didn't pick up speed in Hollywood until their 2015 Comedy Central roast of Justin Bieber, making mega headlines. Martha had created claims following this that she got a quote contact high from one of Snoop's friends. It was here where further opportunities birthed themselves, including their 2017 cooking show on VH1, where both Martha and Snoop received Emmy nominations. Their loss to RuPaul did absolutely nothing for their reputation though, as Martha rose from fanless to millions charmers in one of the most unexpected ways. I guess this is much more than an Emmy, but still, that gold statue would have been a sweet seal of the deal on Martha's reborn success. At number 2, we have Hannah Montana Disney star Miley Cyrus, who spent majority of her life playing a bubbly, dorky teen who lived life as an undercover pop star. However, she very quickly broke free of her innocence once her Disney contract was terminated, transforming from that of a picture-perfect squeaky clean tween to a twerking, smoking, and wrecking ball swinging wild child who left most of America stunned. Her 2013 VMAs performance with Robin Thicke for his Blurred Lines single left many straight up uncomfy, and she lost a lot of support for growing up and breaking free of her suffocating childhood days. Since then, Miley has definitely cleaned up her image a bit. She still remains herself, but in a less butt-shaking, smoking all day type of way. And in true full circle, Miley has indeed seemed to officially grow up with her current lifestyle of chart-topping music and zen hippie-esque ways. At number 1, we have one of the most iconic pairings to make it big, musicians and media personalities Beyonce and Jay-Z. Now, to be fair, obviously this one isn't even close to being relevant to the status of these Hollywood legends today, but at one point they nearly lost all their fans amidst a scandal that shocked the whole world. In May 2014, TMZ released a shocking video of Beyonce's sister Solange Knowles physically attacking her husband Jay-Z inside an elevator. The footage was a PR nightmare for the billion-dollar music royalty, as it opened up the floodgates that were Jay-Z's cheating allegations. However, aside from the trio rapidly issuing a statement, the couple remained pretty quiet on the matter. They took to music to make a point, with Beyonce releasing the iconic, critically acclaimed 2016 album Lemonade, which was widely perceived as the breakdown to all of their marital problems and Jay's infidelity. Luckily for them though, their reputation didn't completely fizzle out, as they still remain as one of the top dogs in the industry, as well as one of Hollywood's most influential power couples. That concludes today's BTS. Again, I've been your host Michaela, and I'll see you all again really soon.